Hello and welcome to the One Life Church devotional series. We cover the entire Bible in 20 months. Today's chapters are Psalm 75 and 76. Both of these written by that chief musician, the great psalmist and prophet in the time of Solomon and David. Now, he kicks off by saying, Psalm 75 verse 3, "When the earth and all its people quake, it is I who hold its pillar firm." So, when the whole world is quaking, if you're living in Europe right now, Russia has invaded Ukraine and it's sending tremors. Aeroplanes are seeing overhead. It's sending tremors across the world. God says, no matter what happens when the earth and the people shake, I hold its pillars firm. Hugely comforting. To the arrogant I say, boast no more. To the wicked, do not lift up your horns. Now, our young friend Luke asked the question, why does this psalmist keep on writing about horns? What sort of horn? Why has everybody got horns? So this is picture language of the horns of a bull, the horns of an ox, and it refers to your strength. So every time the Bible is in the Old Testament talks about horns, the implication is it's your means of strength, it's your means of aggression, it's your means of attack. And so the arrogant say, boast no more. And to the wicked, do not lift up your horns. Put down your heads. God is on the throne. Don't try to fight against him. Now, this psalm has been one of the most helpful psalms for me as I raise my kids, particularly my son, who is extremely competitive and loves to play sport. And so what happens if you're in that sporting arena is that, especially if it's team sport, you need to get picked for teams, provincial teams, national teams. And every now and again, particularly when he was a lot younger and he was overlooked, he would be distressed and he would be scheming ways of how he could get picked. Sometimes he'd just be angry at his coaches. Other times he would wonder how he was to adjust his game, and he would be very, very perplexed. This verse says, from verse 6, promotion doesn't come from the east or the west or the desert region, but promotion comes from the Lord. You don't have to exalt yourself. I remember when he was 10 years old, he had a cricket match, and for some reason, they put him at the very back of the batting order. Now, for a little kid who wants to open the batting, that didn't look good. And so I sat and watched him. He sat the whole game with his pads up, his bat in his hand, ready to go on. But, his friends didn't go out, so he never got to bat. At tea time, he was furious. I remember this little 10-year-old. They don't even letting me have a go. And I remember pulling him aside and quoting this verse to him. My boy, promotion doesn't come from Mr. Strachan, your coach. It doesn't come from your headmaster. It doesn't come from the umpires. But promotion comes from the Lord. Just give it to the Lord. And I remember a peace coming over him. Well, he bowled that day the best bowling figures he's ever bowled in his entire life. I don't think he will never be able to do it again. He took 6 wickets for 2 runs, for those of you who know cricket. I remember him coming off the field, pointing to the sky. Promotion doesn't come, this little 10-year-old, from the east or the west or the desert region, but it comes from the Lord. A lesson that he learned out of Psalm 75 when he's really, really young. And now that he's a grown man, every now and again, I just say Psalm 75. Not the east, not the west, not the desert region. Promotion. For those that are his children, promotion comes from the Lord. Now, Psalm 76, Asaph says, God is renowned in Judah. In other words, he's known. The other gods of the age aren't known. God makes himself known to you. His tent is in Salem. That was the ancient name for Jerusalem. His dwelling is in Zion. And that word dwelling is not just the normal word for house. It's a lion's lair. It's quite a provocative statement. God's lion's lair. It's like setting him up for war. He broke the flashing arrows, the shields and the swords and the weapons. And as it describes him, he's radiant, he's majestic. And surely your wrath against mankind brings you praise. So in this particular psalm, he sees God as a warrior, as a judge, as a lion in his lair. And he uses that imagery to praise him and to exalt him. God bless you.